All right, starting a few minutes early. I'm gonna start my Twitch, and let me get my Twitch chat open because I still haven't combined it yet. One of these days, I'm gonna figure it out. Where's the chat? There's the chat. There. Chat settings. Pop up chat. Close this window. Move this to the here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Move this here. Slide this here. Do this, do that. Put this here. And good to go. All right. Oh, wait. I should probably make sure that this is actually just running over here now. Here. Slide this. All right. Looks like it. Do this, do that. Put this here. Turn that off. Do that. Close this. Close this. All right. Look, I actually remembered to do a live stream on Friday because some Fridays I completely forget, and then I do them on Saturdays. But so we're doing one actually on Friday. What do you know? It's been busy few weeks. Yeah. Our project Hush Hush is getting further along, proceeding nicely. I am about a day behind schedule of where I wanted to be, but I have particular goals that I've set, like with any kind of project thingy. I have particular goals that I'm doing where I want to be at a certain place on a certain day. So I'm working with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this project. So Tuesday, I couldn't do a particular thing, so I started doing something else, and I got like way farther on that. I was going to do that task over several days, and so the first day I wanted to have a certain amount done. I got twice as much done than I wanted to, and then I completed another project that I hadn't even expected to start. And then on Wednesday, I was going to do a particular thing, and I got absolutely nowhere on it. But I guess I'm not really behind because I got so far ahead on the other ones. I feel like I'm behind today. But it's all good. It's coming along. And soon we'll be able to talk about it. If you are a member of Patreon, hop over onto Patreon, sign up, get an account above the Krobin Lilu account, and you'll get to know what the hell I'm talking about. We have to keep it kind of on the down low for right now, just because of it, which I will explain later on why we're doing it this way. It actually makes sense, but and it's a financial thing. But I'll explain all this later. I mean, November. By the end of November, all will become apparent. That's good. It's good so far. Yeah. And if you're following the arcade on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see this thing that happened today that was really cool. So we've had kind of a steady day today. People kind of in and out here. I had a moment where there was nobody here. I don't even remember what time it was. There was nobody here, and it was nice and sunny out, kind of quiet. I went outside. I was just sitting out on the deck. And Krobin, the crow, there's the whole family of crows. There's 6 or 7 of them or something. And ravens too. We had in the summer we had 4 ravens, sorry, 6 ravens were coming by. I hadn't seen the ravens for like a month, and 2 of the ravens were here today. But the whole group of crows the whole family of crows were here and hanging around. And I'd go outside, and if they're out there, they're like, oh, that's the peanut guy. And they'll kind of come around. So I gave them some peanuts, but I was just hanging around out there. And we have the two railings that get you up to the deck. And I was just sitting right next to that. There's a bush covered in flowers. And so I was sitting next to that bush. There were a bunch of bees and stuff on it, little honey bumblebee bees. On the other railing, Probin was just hanging out. He was just sitting like this far away from me. Is it charging?
It is charging.
And he'd had his peanuts. He was just hanging out. The other ones were kind of doing their thing, but he was just content just to be sitting next to me, which was really unusual. So I was like, I usually don't want the crows to be like super friendly. Like I don't want to be able to touch them or like whatever. I don't want to feed them from my hand. But oh, hold on, you've returned.
We did.
All right.
For 1 hour, please.
It's only 5 cents more for 2 hours.
We'll do it.
2 hours then. All right.
$34.50.
Okay. Pay cash? Or?
Cash is great. All right, $15.50 back. I'll stamp your hands. All right, you're good till 10:05. You missed the one on that one, but you'll just have to look at his hand.
I'm not sure we'll last till 10:05.
All right. Everything is set to free play. Just hit the button and go. If you get a stuck ball, give me a shout.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Yeah, so, what was I saying? Right, so I don't want to promote feeding any of the crows, like having them take food out of my hand, because I know some people are freaked out by crows. They don't like them, they're scared of them, whatever. And if you have a crow that lands on your shoulder, people are going to lose their shit, right? So I kind of was avoiding that, but I've watched Crowben over a couple of years now, and he's really not like this with other people. Like, he's not even really like this with Sophia. It's just something, I think, because I'm just here a lot, and he's gotten really to know me. People come out of the pizza place, and he's like, fuck off, he leaves, right? So I'm like, okay, he's right here. Let's see what happens. So I came in, I got a couple of peanuts, I went back out there. He's just sitting there hanging out, and I just kind of, here, dude. And he just snatched it. And the first couple of times, it was sort of like, I'm not really, like, here's the peanut, and here's him, and he's sort of like, got it, right? A couple times he did that. After that, he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks. Have the peanut. Yeah, and so that was, yeah, I just hung out there with him for 20 minutes or something like that. It was like, another peanut for you, buddy. And he'd come up, grab the peanut, go eat it. It was really cool. I like that I had posted something on Facebook about it, how there's something really cool when a wild animal gets to a point that they like accept and trust you. I've had that happen to me a few times, where it's just, it takes a while, and then there's just something where they're just like, yeah, he's not gonna hurt us, that's cool. Yeah, so it's just kind of a, sorry, I stop talking when people are right on the other side of the camera because I don't want them to think I'm crazy or talking to them. Yeah, so it's a cool thing when a wild animal does that, and it's just sort of like chill around you. Or, yeah, it's neat. Nick is in chat. Hello, Nick. How are you doing today? We were just talking about my crow friend that comes by every now and then. Well, comes by most days, and he gets treats from me. And today he actually ate out of my hand, which was pretty neat. My phone went bleep bleep. Hold, please. I don't like this camera scene. Let's go to this one. This one looks like we're empty. There, we look a little bit more busy here. We don't have a ton of people there, but yeah. So what else is new? We had workers out in the parking lot today. Right when we first moved in. It's over 2 years ago. There was a small little, it's asphalt parking lot. A small little hole was developing over there. Small, like this big. And underneath the asphalt, there's no real little layer of gravel and then just dirt. So what was happening, it would rain, it would fill up, cars would drive through it. The water would erode away the dirt. The hole would kind of edge out and get bigger and bigger and bigger. I told the owners, I said, just go get a bag of gravel, or a couple bags of gravel. It had gotten to be a bit bigger. So get a little gravel, throw the gravel in there, and then take a little bit of cement mix that in there. That'll hold the gravel in place until you can get someone to actually repair it. But if you just leave it, it's going to turn into a crater, right? It's just going to all chip away and stuff. Well, they didn't do anything about it because they didn't want to pay to have someone come and repair it properly. So I just said, put a little cement in there. It'll stop it from eroding away, and the cement won't be very big. You just pick it up and throw it away later. So the thing turned into a big lake, and I named it Lake Deep after one of the owners, Deeposhnu. So anyway, by the nickname Lake Deep. So it was Lake Deep. So today it had gotten to be so big, the new owner wasted the money to fix it when really she should have just done the whole parking lot, because the whole parking lot is just falling apart. So it was kind of like you're washing a corner of your steak off that you had accidentally dropped in the outhouse toilet. It's like you're just kind of cleaning off a little part, but the rest of it's all falling apart. I don't know. And it's expensive, but Nick says, see the new Jersey Jack Avatar and Stern's Uncanny X-Men. I saw Stern's X-Men. Wait, their second X-Men. X-Men 2. I haven't seen Jersey Jack's Avatar yet. Chris says he saw those workers on the way to work this morning and wondered what they were doing. They were fixing Lake Deeposhnu. I mean, it's better. It's better to not have a big stupid hole in the middle of your driveway or in the middle of your parking lot. But it sort of seems like it's just money, because you're gonna have to. You have to do the whole parking lot anyway. The whole parking lot's falling apart. Everything needs to be redone. So it's sort of like the money that she spent to repair this is just going to be ripped up in 8 months from now. So, I don't know. Probably could have just thrown gravel in there and a little bit of something else to hold it in place, and that would have kept it busy until they do the whole lot. But I don't know how much this whole parking lot would cost to do. It's probably pretty expensive. And probably doing that repair, that was probably $8,000 or $9,000 just to do those patches out there. 10 or 15 guys here, and like a ton of equipment. Yeah. Actually, you probably could have gotten a couple of people that just do a basic asphalt patch and would have been better off, considering you have to do the whole thing later. So, but no, not my money, not my parking lot. Don't care. I guess at the end of the day, I don't care. I noticed today it's getting dark, awful early. Fall must be here. I guess that means that the leaves are going to start changing now, because it was dark by 7 something, 8. It's 8 now, and it's all the way dark now. So Chris says ours was 18K 2 years ago. This is one in Stratford, because that's about the same size, I would think. In all, I would think. This one might be a touch bigger, but yours, the one in Stratford, yours has a lot more in the front than this one does. But this one has more on the side. It's probably about the same. I saw that, speaking of, Chris, I saw that there's a new espresso cafe name up now. Used to be Lucky Bean, and it's something else. I noticed it the other day when I was driving by, and I saw that the sign had changed, but I don't remember what I changed to. So I'm wondering, have you been to the new? Now that it's under new owners, have you been there? Has anything changed? Did the new owners keep the same employees? Replace the employees? Did the coffee change? I am going to stop the Big Lebowski because this is driving me nuts. Hold, please. Kettle Black. That's it. That's what I saw on the sign. So is it better, the same, worse? Same feeling inside, or did he change it all up? I've been to the Lucky Bean in Montague a few times, and they're fine. It's kind of a cool little cafe. It's sort of in a weird spot though. Chris says, yes, I have. Menu is small. Haven't seen the same staff yet. Sandwiches are less expensive. Well, since you work right next to them, less expensive sandwiches are, a good thing. Nick says, I finished my Bally Black Rose. It's in the house. Love it. Got a custom Pirate Skull shooter rod, and tomorrow changing the high volt DMD to a 12 volt color DMD. Company is in Australia. Chris says they're still getting started. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to try the one in Stratford before they changed. So if I went in there, and I probably wouldn't tell the difference between Lucky Bean Montague and Kettle Black Stratford, because it's been probably a year since I went to the one in Montague. I don't go to Montague very often, but it's right up the street from me, so. But I don't usually go up there. Chris, are you planning on coming down tonight? Is your brother still in town? I talked to Sophia. She's going to try and jump into chat here if she can. She was really busy today. So we may or may not see her. And Starship Troopers has a game. Let me go and reset that. Hold, please. player one. There's a gear that isn't working, so the bird target doesn't work. So if there's nothing to shoot at, it's the birds. Yeah. Everything else is working though. Restarted a few games there. Chris says, been to the Montague Lucky Bean. It's quite nice and kind of trendy in its location. Jeff flew home Tuesday morning. He'll be back next week. Oh, he did end up going back? Because he was, when we were talking, he was like, I shouldn't fly back for just a couple of days. And there's Outlane. Hello, Outlane. Pinball Expo, less than 2 weeks. And Chris says you'll be in tomorrow. Awesome. Well, I'll be here. Tomorrow's another Fridays and Saturdays, long days, 11-hour days in the arcade. But I'm hanging out in the arcade for 11 hours, like I'm digging ditches for 11 hours, right? I'm hanging out, sometimes playing a game with someone, drinking coffee. Today, hanging out with crows. It says, I'm planning on bringing Gladiators and Black Knight 2000. I would like to get a Black Knight 2000. What did they call the third Black Knight? I forget the name of that. Black Knight Snooze Fest? Sword of Rage. That's what it was. I don't know. I tried it and it didn't do anything for me. But there was a Gladiators for sale locally. I don't remember how much. It seemed like he wanted a fair amount for it and had issues. We might have already talked about this, but I know the guy. I bought a couple of machines from him, but it's. I think it had a sound problem. It wasn't, for the price, it wasn't in as good a shape as you would want it. And, you know, I'm a little picky when it comes to buying machines. I know if I really, really want it, I'll pay a bit more, but, or if it's in a really good shape, then I'll pay a bit more. But if it's got anything that I need to repair, like if I can't just take it and throw it on the floor and go, then I'm not paying top dollar for it. Outline says, good pin, it was originally going to be a Zelda. Yeah, I think we already talked about this. Yeah, that sounds familiar. And it's one of those ones, I'm pretty sure I played one, but I can't remember it really. Alright, here we go. You know, it's funny, I kind of like the Premiere era of games. They have some really kind of, they're basic, but they have some good good objectives, I think. That's a terrible picture. Can't tell what's going on. Upper left playfield. Oh, it looks like it's the same thing that cue ball has. These holes are so deep. Like go way the hell down there. I always thought that was weird about the premiere one. Oh, and this has the instead of having is this like a panel that moves? Genesis has one of those, and Volcano has one too. Actually, it's not like a slingshot. It's like a slap shot thing that smacks it. Yeah, it looks like the same sort of thing on both sides. That's cool. I don't remember that. I must not have played this one then. That would have stuck out to me. Alan says I'm excited to play Uncanny X-Men and Avatar. Needs new drop targets. I put new ones in mine. All right, let me see if I can find. Jersey Jack Avatar. Because I don't know if I've looked at this yet. Oh, we did look at this. Yeah, I remember the little window. The little windows I thought were kind of cool. Yeah, I hate Avatar, like the product, but I'd be interested to try this. Don't like that shooter rod, I can tell you that. I tried to watch I watched the first Avatar. I don't know, we probably talked about this before. Luke, hey, there's Luke. Hi, Luke. How are you? Luke says, evening, everyone. I saw the first Avatar in the theater, 3D. I was so impressed by the 3D aspect of it because it was not entirely 3D lens generated. It was computer controlled, so they had more than like a couple levels of depth. It was impressive, but I didn't remember very much about the movie because I was just sort of like hypnotized by the spectacle of the whole thing. Like it sounded great, it looked great, the animation was pretty good, the 3D effects were great, whatever, and I just didn't really pay attention to what was really happening. So I went to go see it again in the theater in 3D. A couple weeks later, something like that. And I left that going, it still is really pretty to watch, but the story was not so great. Then it came out on something I watched it at home, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so terrible. It was just, yeah, once you pull all the bling away, it's not a very good movie. I didn't think it was a very good movie. The second one came out. I didn't go see it in the theater. I didn't bother. And then I ended up, I think I downloaded a copy of it or something. And I was just sort of interested to see what it was going to be like. I made it maybe 10 minutes into the movie. And I was so bored, I just turned it off. Didn't get into it. So I think it's sort of interesting that, and I know that the second one did really well in the theater, but it didn't have, like, the original Avatar did really, really, really well, and there were some lasting effects, like people were chatting about it for a year or two to come, the second Avatar came out, and it did really well in the theater, but I don't remember really anybody talking about it. It was just sort of like, been there, done that kind of thing. So they're making like 20 more of them, or whatever they're making. It'll be interesting to see if they retain the same numbers when the third one comes out, if it's going to be as busy. I'll be interested to see. But having said that, I think it's interesting that Jersey Jack, since they don't put out a whole ton of machines, that they put their time and money into, I think, a product that probably by the third or fourth movie will be sort of like a joke. So I thought that was sort of interesting. I don't even remember let's look at all the different Jersey Jack machines here. Because they did, what do we got here? Games. I want to see all the Jersey Jack games. So Avatar, Elton John, Godfather. Godfather, I was kind of like, really? Pinball machine? Nah. Toy Story 4, that's great theme for a pinball. Guns N' Roses. Willy Wonka seemed like a fun theme for a pinball, but I didn't really like. I did play a little bit of it. I didn't really care for it. Pirates of the Caribbean. Dialed In I liked. Hobbit I played once or twice. And Wizard of Oz I played. So, like, of all of those, I mean, I think that they're fairly lasting, but I'm not sure about Avatar. And Elton John is also one of those ones too that like do 20-year-old people, do they care about Elton John at all? Maybe Godfather, it's in their sort of universe if they're movie buffs or something, but probably wouldn't have seen it, maybe? Don't know. But Toy Story, maybe Guns N' Roses, Willy Wonka's sort of a thing. The rest of them, I can see the appeal of that. I don't know. I'll never quite get the pinball companies that make pinball themes. I think I'm going to be eternally out of sync with what they're doing. Chris says expensive licensing. That too, yeah. Like, I don't know. I think it's more fun. I miss original themes, and I'm like one of those. Everything should be original themes. And I would love to see some pinball machines and some games that are from unexpected IPs. So Hot Wheels, not really an expected thing, right? That's kind of cool. But maybe like, Mrs. Butterworth. American Pinball did one on like barbecue sauce or something like that. Like, that's hilarious to me. Yeah, it'd be funny to have like, a pancake mix or something. I can't even think of like Cheerios, or some breakfast cereal, Frosted Flakes pinball machine. Or you could do hi. Good, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Gonna do 2 hours?
Might as well.
Might as well.
I don't use it as fun. Only 5 cents.
If you don't use it, I'll donate your 5 cents to charity.
Oh, okay.
1725. When the light goes on. All right. Do you want a receipt?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay. Raise your hand. You're good to 10:30. Thanks. Yeah, maybe a like manufacturer's complete line of cereal. So I don't know who makes like the Fruit Loops, but you have the Toucan Sam, and you could have like I don't know, there's Toucan Sam and the Tiger one, the It's Great Tiger Frosted Flakes. Are they the same company? You could do like a whole like array of breakfast cereal icons and mascots. You have them battle each other, battling for the position on the on your breakfast table. All right, this one's working. 5 balls per game. It doesn't automatically eject the ball. You have to use a ball lifter, so push that in.
Oh. Okay.
So every time you have to manually lift it. See you later. The one being on PEI and with the Anna Green Gables thing, I've joked that we joked about being an Anna Green Gables pinball machine, but when it comes to orphans named Anne, I'm Team Annie. Just because I'm a contrarian, right? So, yeah, I'm little Orphan Annie over Anna Green Gables all the way. But I thought a hilarious, and I might do this with my Road Kings, because Road Kings needs a little bit of work, and it wouldn't be hard to add this, but to have like battle of the Annie orphans, so you could have on the back class, you could make a new back class. You have Little Orphan Annie and you have Anna Green Gables, and they're like post-apocalyptic, so they're wearing like spiky gear and all this on motorcycles and battling each other for top position of like the red-headed orphan. Hold please.
Oh, it's true.
Do you have any like chubbies, like the drink?
I do. Come on over here. I have blue chubby, I have grape chubby, I have pear
Ooh, I've never tried the pear one before.
and banana. Yeah, that's what I've got in here right now.
I'll try the pear.
A pear one? One pear for you. Are you having a chubby too?
Yes.
Which color chubby?
Purple. I think you should get purple. Red. Like the red.
This is banana.
Oh.
That's the closest I have to red.
Well, like I could just see the like reds
Oh.
and they look red.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
also banana. I had orange ones,
it's
but I
like-
think I'm out of orange ones.
How
All right.
much is
We
it?
might need to scan those, Della.
I do need to scan
Before we
those.
open them, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's a better.
They're resealable. That's fine. All right.
Yeah, it's no big deal. But just as a rule for the future, a way to do it. A way to go.
Here you go.
Way to go.
There you go. 345. 20. $16.55. There you go. How's the pear? Does it taste like pears?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. And does yours taste like bananas?
Yeah.
I found that chubby drinks, they're whatever they say they are, like grape or pear or banana or whatever, they're almost that flavor. Like,
Yeah, this kind of tastes like banana.
yeah, like it's
No,
interesting.
Banana and pear taste. To me,
Well, that pear
banana is like
Is it?
banana, but like sparkly banana.
Sparkly banana.
Like sparkly.
That's kind of intense. Holy smokes. You're going to try to taste that, Del?
Yep.
Whoa, these are dense. Intense drinks.
They're from Trinidad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Could we one please,
Not this time, but I would consider a ticket situation, possibly.
And look here, look. You plug into your phone and it lights the whole room. It's this.
Although I don't know if you could plug it into your phone. I think you have to plug it into a power source.
It's got like a function, so maybe.
Maybe.
I'll think about it, okay? I'm gonna go get my food. I'll go eat my food and come back, bro. You can come with me if you want.
Pins and Fins says, "Hi, Seven from Washington, D.C. suburbs. Can you tell us about your EM-looking rifle shooter game?" You bet. That's Twin Rifle. Do you want to go take a look? Let's go take a look. We'll do some camera safari adventure time. How about that? And Luke says, "Avatar with, of course, special UV lighting and effects." Does the Jersey Jack one? Did they do that? Did they like go full blown on UV stuff? I find that there's. I mean, I love UV stuff, right? Like, look at this place. How could you not think that I love it? But I think that there's a overall general lack of UV use on pinball machines. I have some in the back. Starship Trooper says UV effects. Most of the stuff along the back wall is the ones that I have in here that have UV effects. Although I had to move one or two of them out. Genie doesn't, Dragon does, Royal Rumble does, Roller Games does, Tails does, something else. I had something else in here. I have some EMs that have paint, like Dealer's Choice has UV reactive paint on the playfield. Cool. Oh, what were those little, I had One Player Williams here. They had it. Triple Action? I think that one had UV reactive paint on the playfield. There's not enough UV reactive paint on playfields. You can do 365 nanometer LED lights, right? Like, it's easy enough. All right, let's go look at our EM shooter, Twin Rifle. I need to switch phones. All right, camera safari adventure time. Here we go. All right, I won't be able to read your chat while I do this, but I'll kind of show you. So 1971 Chicago coin Twin Rifle. It's pretty cool. And it's one of the traditional ones where there's actually a piece of glass here. Behind the glass is a mirror that works for one of the targets, and it's a Pepper's Ghost illusion. It's down, the targets are the birds, and they actually are like way down here, and I can't really get to it. We can kind of open the back and have a look. There's sort of stuff in the way. Yeah, I can't really see. Maybe we can get in there and have a look. I don't see them. Sort of a standard. You can't see. It's hard to see. Standard EM style mechanisms. There's a score reel that resets everything. This is a big drop target, or a big target bank system, scoring bank system. When the whole thing resets, this solenoid fires and it restarts all of those switches. And then a lot of these are the little targets down here. There's a couple of banks here that are, when you fire the rifle, and I'll show you, I'll lift this up and show you. There's a solenoid that fires for the haptic feedback kind of thing. and that's tied into one of these. So when you fire it, it fires one of these relays, and the switches go to the haptics and some other stuff. But all right, so let's open it up. Black lights, UV reactive. See, even back then they knew. So all your targets are there. If I do some fancy phone work, I think that looks normal, right? Or is it upside down? Don't know. It's upside down to me. So yeah, the targets come off from the side. Someone put a quarter in here. That was nice. Oh, look, there's multiple quarters. It's almost time to... once a year, we've been counting the amount of money that's in all the machines. This year, we're going to donate it to probably a cat. They're a group that go out and they take care of the wild cats that are on the island. They neuter them, fix them, spay them, take care of them, do all that. So we're probably going to take all the money in here. We'll match it. And we'll donate that money to that group. A cat action team, I think it's called. Don't know. How this thing aims is cool. So as you move the gun around, it actually moves. It's kind of hard to see. We'll do it on this one. It actually, this is your point here, and it moves across all of those little points. So when a target becomes active, it corresponds to one of these little metal points here. When this pointer goes over it, you're basically aiming at the target. When you squeeze the trigger, that completes the circuit. If you're off of it, then no circuit completion for you. The haptic feedback is this solenoid here, fires and kicks back. So let's start a game. And just one player here so you can see it. It's sort of dark in here, I'm sorry about this. And then the little targets, that's the bird target. You can see it if I come up here. So the bird target isn't working because there's a gear. You can see it going by, but it's not where it should be. The mirror behind the glass angles up, and then you can see the target. And the little gear that moves the mirror is not working. And I just haven't had time to fix it. Those are the little targets there. And back to the birds. Yeah, that's it. It's a timed game. If you get over a certain amount of points, and I forget how many points that is, this will go around a second time. When the bird targets are working, I've had them working momentarily. They work for a day or two. It's super easy you just got to nail a couple of the birds and you'll get enough time to send this around again. Yeah, that's basically it. Overall, it's in pretty good shape. Back glass is in pretty good shape. Little bit of flaking here and there, but it's not too bad. I do need to rebuild. There's the 3 deer targets that spin around. Each deer is missing a part. So one of them's missing a head, one of them's missing the front paws, the back paws or whatever. But I have stuff, I can basically take the 3 off. At one point I'm going to take all 3 of them off. I'm going to use all 3 to make a single complete mold, and then I'll make some new ones. I'll pour some new ones out of resin. But that's Chicago Coin Swing Rifle. Fantastic game. I want more of those. And it's been a lot of fun to see people come in who have never seen one of those games or that style of game. It's cool because they and I open it up and show it to them and it blows their mind. They're like, wow. I would like to have more just because you don't really see them very often, and there's just something really neat about the depth that you get out of them because of the mirror and the glass thing. and they're all in black light, UV reactive stuff. And the art on some of them is just amazing. They're just cool things. So that's looking for more of them is sort of on my radar right now. I'd like to get. I think it'd be cool that I have 3 of them. Would be probably a good amount. Need more room, of course. Which eventually we will have. So yeah, all right. Let me get back. Let me get caught up on our on the chat here. Luke says Stranger Things as well. UV. Pins and Fizz says thanks. So it's 2-player. What do they shoot? Nothing. Pins and Fins says cool. Are they harder to work on than EM pinball machine? They're similar. The one thing that sucks about those is you saw how the targeting system works. So you have your point that slides along a disc of things. If that gets severely out of whack, it would be quite hard to get it dialed in again because none of those points are like it's not in the manual like that. There's 40 different of those target points, and none of them are labeled of what they are. So it would just be sort of a hit and miss kind of thing. And maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a strategy for dialing it in. I don't like to what's the word I'm looking for? Calibrate. I don't know what it is, but one of them I fiddled with. It was shooting a little bit low, and I just was able to just kind of. There's some Allen screws that kind of hold everything in place, and I was just able to just basically move the gun up just a little bit. They both still shoot a little low though. But. Where am I? Oh, okay. Luke says, "Yay, Safari camera adventure time. Safari adventure camera time. I forget what I call it. Is there audio for the rifle game? So yeah, there is. It's the only electronic thing. There is a little audio sound card. I can actually go back over and show you because I did not show you that. Here we go. Camera Safari adventure time part 2. Here we go. I think you heard it when I was playing it, but I'll show you the actual card itself. Look. Cigarette holders. So you and a friend can put your cigarettes here. And over here too. I guess, you're on a date, or you're on a double date. So you can put your cigarette, your date can put her cigarette, and then same with the people next to you. Perfect. That's the audio sound card for and all it does is it just goes, that's basically all it does. There's not a whole lot to it. And let me start a game. Where's the speaker for this? Is it down here? That's all it does. It just goes. Hey, there's Spike. Hiya, Spike. Pins and Fins says, very cool about the coil haptics. Yeah, I didn't know how that originally worked. And it's basically, it's a flipper mechanism is all it is. Basically the same thing. Is the rifle game harder to move than pinball machines? Hell yeah. That thing weighs like 450 pounds. And there's no good way to get a hold of it. And it doesn't come apart. You probably, it's best to take the guns off of it, and the guns are a big pain in the ass. There's the chain that holds the gun down in the front for whatever reason. I guess so that you don't lean on it and break it or something. I don't know. And then there's some screws that you get out from underneath. I actually, the first time when I got it, it was disassembled. The guns were off of it, rather. And I had a really, really hard time getting the guns on the very first time. And then, it seemed to take, I don't know, an hour and a half or something to get them both on there and locked into place and working right. I fought with it. And then on the left-hand side, the trigger mechanism broke. There's a leaf switch. And the trigger mechanism broke. So I had to take that gun off and come up with a fix. And I basically just cobbled something together out of some end of stroke switches and something else that I had back. Got the gun back on it and got that all working again. And then literally like a week or two later, the other leaf switch on the other gun broke. Exact same place. And so I was like, oh, I know how to fix this. And so I cobbled together a solution for that one. And they seem to be working just fine. They had their system. They had there's a leaf switch, and then underneath it there was a thicker piece of metal that went like this and went down. And as you pulled the trigger, a little thing interacted with that L shape, and that's what pushed that little L shape pushed up, and that's what connected your leaf switch. I used basically the same thing, but I took an old, I used end of stroke switches because they were long enough, and then I used on the leaf switches you can disassemble them, put them back together how you want. They're sort of like like Legos for switches, switch Legos. I had some of those plastic triangular things that you do for stacking switches. Whenever a switch dies on me, like something breaks or whatever, I take that switch, I disassemble it, and I throw all the little parts in my bins back there, so I can rebuild stuff if I need to. So I had several of those little white plastic triangular standoff guys, and that's what I used for that stepper. So instead of the trigger actually interacting with the metal piece, the trigger interacts with a flat leaf, which interacts with the plastic thing. That's, if I remember, that's what I did. So it was something like that. But, Luke says, great. Oh yeah, I donated. Oh wait, you're talking about the cat action humor when I told the woman that if she didn't stay 2 hours, I'd take her 5 cents and I'd donate it to charity. So you're now a gun cobbler. Yes, a gun cobbler. Pins and Pins says, are those EM shooter games more expensive than EM pinball machines? Seems like getting parts is more difficult. All right, so there's, I'm fairly new to them. I've wanted one for a long time, but this is the first one I ever bought and played with. Now that particular one, a friend of mine in Vancouver owns the same game. He has a twin rifle. Another friend of mine who does pinball repair and stuff for a living, he was actually working on someone's twin rifle. So I got familiar with the insides of them, going over and helping him one day. He had to cast a bunch of targets, and so he called me up and said, hey, I got to cast a bunch of targets. You want to come and do this with me? I've never done it before. So we kind of fumbled through it together because I hadn't done it either. So he had the game open, and I got kind of a general overview on how the whole thing worked and everything through him. But I have been following, there's a Facebook group on that just is old EM shooter and amusement games and stuff. And I've been following that. What seems to be happening is that some of the guns get broken because they're wood. So it's kind of hard to hunt down some gun parts. But they're just dummy guns. Like, I suppose as long as you can get a triggering system working, you could probably do pretty much anything you wanted to. Like, probably buy an old BB gun and just jerry rig it in place. That would probably work, as long as there was like as long as I had a wood stock. And my understanding is that on these old Chicago coins, that those stocks, this, don't quote me, but those stocks are actually Remington stocks for an old 22. And it was cheaper for them to buy just unfinished stocks ready-made for a gun than it was to manufacture their own stock. So that could be a thing that you could look at old guns and see what the stocks were and just rip the gun part off of it and save the wood. Probably easier to do in the States than it is in Canada, but I don't know, maybe there's gun shows in Canada. I've never been to one, but yeah, you could probably, if you were in Canada, you could probably just cross the border, go into the States, go into any local elementary school and say, hey, I need a gun. Where do I go? And they'll tell you. Then you just rip the metal bits off of it. You take the wood stock. Look, you've got a thing. Then you just once you get it into Canada, you just need a metal rifle part, and you can just use old plumbing supplies. Perfect. The games themselves, this one did not work when I bought it. I paid $300 for it, and it took me about an hour to get it going. That's probably low. The ones that I'm seeing on Facebook that are fully restored are in the 1,000 to 2,000 range, unless it's something very unique and rare. When I do see that, I've seen them pop up from time to time, non-working ones, anywhere up to about $500. I could see that these probably might get, like, people get in there and dig around and kind of fuck them up. Like they stop working and people go in there and start hammering and on them, and they could probably get fairly ruined. So, and have parts missing. So I think it'd be one of those things that you, before you bought one that was non-working, you have a pretty good look at it and just try to make sure that it's complete. Because I could see them being robbed for parts, maybe. I don't know. I didn't find it, not having schematics for it, not knowing anything about it, compared to an EM pinball machine that I don't have schematics for, like an old Gottlieb one or something. It was pretty easy to, if you know EM machines, it was pretty easy to look at this and translate what's happening. I didn't have much of a problem getting things going. And really on that one, it was just a matter of just cleaning some contacts for the most part. And this one was already set for free play, I think, when I got it. I don't remember having to change the credit system. No, I don't remember actually. It is 9 o'clock. Do I need more coffee? I have 2 more hours. I might need more coffee. Pins and Pins. As a kid, I remember playing the EM Submarine Torpedo Shooter game. Tons of fun. That sounds familiar. There was Seawolf, but that was a screen, and it went bleep, bleep. I want one of those. Sega Periscope. 1966 electromechanical arcade submarine game with the player looking through a periscope to shoot ships, manufactured by Sega. Interior scenery inside the machine is lit up with a black light tube, as all things should be. Let me switch over. Oh, wrong one. Let me switch over to this. Sea Raider. Let me look. That was the one that you played, was called Sea Raider? Because that sounds familiar. No pictures of the inside. Oh, here we go. I don't remember this. Yeah, I don't remember this one at all. Alright, let's look up Sea Raider. Alright, yeah, we might be onto something. This looks familiar. Sea Raider. Let's watch a YouTube video. Sound is off? Yes. You would never have guessed that this was made 13 years ago with this quality. This looks really familiar. What's the inside look like? Gorgeous. I love this shit. Love it.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, great. Love the Lebowski one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's our newest one.
It's got
That
a
we
great
got.
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. High level of control, it feels like.
And it's the shots are well placed. The rules are good. Yeah, it was an expensive machine, but after we got it in, I was like, oh yeah, this was worth it.
Yeah,
It was worth
yeah,
it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dad,
Thank you so
there's
much.
a boy
Thanks.
that's sour pickle.
I know, he was born. Yeah.
Sure, we should do a challenge for that.
Oh, that'd be
And
fun.
we'd all have the same amount of first one to make the face. I need to do a sour pickle, but a sour sour
Thank you so much.
All right. See you guys later. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you on a blurry screen here, but I have to talk to my customers. All right, here's game action. Here we go. That's cool. Get him, fire. Boom, nice. Love it. The outside of this looks familiar, this does not. Here's one that I want. Whirlybird. I remember this one. It has a little helicopter, and it spins around, and you have to land on particular points and stuff. I actually had a home version of this game. I forget what it was called, Whirligig or something. And it actually had a little helicopter, and it would lift up with the blade spinning. And if you got your face in it, and the helicopter hit you in the face, it would actually cut your face. You know, it was like one of those fun toys from the 70s. Yeah, I want one of these. Yeah, I just wanted, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 really cool old electromechanical games that are like this, that are unusual, that you don't ever see anymore, and all of that. And a periscope, yeah, periscope. Pins and Pins says, yeah, that's it. And Spike says, yeah, that one. What was the other one? Was damn it, going to the wrong window. There was the periscope one that was Seawolf. this one. That was actually a video game. I would like to get one of these. It's just sort of a fun, classic thing. It had the fun sonar sound. Yeah, and you just shoot up. Bloop. Yeah, and the shot effect was reflected off of glass, a light on glass. It's just cool. Bunch of pinball machines, video games. Little merry-go-round guy. Do I have this on the browser? Oh, good. Yeah, just a bunch of funky old weird shit. I want a room full of funky old weird shit. Marvelous monkey band. I want a monkey band. Ask the brain. I want to ask the brain. This guy throws up. This guy next to the brain guy. He like drinks a lot and then he throws up. Or he doesn't always throw up. Every once in a while he throws up. And I think that this was specially made for this place. So you put money in and he just goes and then he doesn't do anything. You put more money in, you put more money in, and he goes, blah. I want one. Yeah, all this. I just love the feeling of this. I probably wouldn't go for the same sort of vibe. Like this is like old-timey like vibe, but you know, having all the strange shit is, yeah, that's all I want. Big pile of strange shit. WFO Sonic Seed. Hey, Seven, not sure if you've checked kicks lately, but we were there last night with our friends and we took over the leaderboard pretty successfully. So the one thing about that game, it only saves the high score, the highest score. All the other ones, power it off and it resets all the other ones. Yeah. Yeah, I wish that it would save everything, but that board doesn't do that at all. Unfortunately. I am going to make more coffee because I have 2 more hours to go, and I don't have 2 more hours here, but with this, I would have 2 more hours. I will take the microphone with me. I will walk you through what I'm doing. I need water. I have an electric teapot. I am going to make water. Because I have an espresso machine back here. And I pretty much drink Americanos. And not just Americanos, and I have to come up with a cool name for it. I drink Americanos with chocolate. And I used to drink mochas. That was like my drink of choice. And then one day I was like, I don't need all of the fat and crap from all this milk. I don't need milk at all. Let's try it without the milk. Let's try a mocha without a milk. So I made an Americano and put chocolate in it. And I was like, this is perfect. Just the right amount of sweetness. I like the flavors that I like chocolate and coffee together. So when we open up in a new space and we have the espresso machine there, my big thing is going to be chocolate Americanos. Like I'm going to make all the regular drinks that you would expect. I mean, I'm not going to get like stupid Starbucks type style drinks, but I'll make all the regular espresso cafe drinks that you would expect. But the one thing at the top of the menu is going to be try the chocolate Americano. And I'm going to have the thing that's going to be different about it is that we're going to have various types of chocolate. And we'll have a little sign that has like our chocolates on tap. So most of the places you go to, they have one type of chocolate for your coffee. And, but we'll have, I like Ghirardelli chocolate. I think Hershey's chocolate is fine in coffee. There's a couple of sort of like generic-y brand chocolates that you can get at like a lot of different cash and carries. There's a company called Lynch. They make a chocolate. They make a chocolate for ice cream topping that I've used in Americanos, and that's actually quite good. There's a company in Seattle that when I used to live there, it was one of my favorite little chocolate places, and it was called Dilettante Chocolate. And they made chocolate sauce that is freaking amazing. And you used to get the giant size cans, like if you buy, like if you go to a cash and carry for restaurant supply, they have a giant can of tomatoes, right? So you could get this chocolate syrup in this giant can, and it would cost, God, I don't know, like $20 or something. Like, it really wasn't very much. And it was probably 15, 10, 11, 12 pounds of, if I had to guess, it was 12 to 13 pounds of chocolate sauce in this can. And then for some reason they stopped making it. Like they still made it because they have, Dilettante has a bunch of espresso cafes, and you could buy little jars of the stuff, like 12 ounces or something like that, not a whole bunch. And it was expensive. Like that little jar would cost you some stupid amount, like $10, $20 or something like that for this little tiny thing. But when we lived in Vancouver, and would go down to Seattle, I would arrange at one of the Dilettante stores to go down and pick up like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of these cans of chocolate, bring it back with me, and that lasted a good 6 to 8 months. You'd open a can, like I would have these sessions where you open a can, and then you can't just leave it. I didn't go through it fast enough, so I would have to open up a can. I'd have to transfer that all to jars so that I keep the jars in the fridge. Otherwise, it would get moldy and gross once you open the can. In a cafe, a busy cafe, you open a can and you'd use it up before it got bad, but you just put the thing in the fridge at night. So, but then they stopped doing it. Like, where the hell did this chocolate? It was the best stuff. Recently, I just found out they have started selling these again, and we can actually, they won't ship it to Canada, but we can have it shipped to Sophia's sister's place that she's got just across the border in Blaine. So it can be shipped there, and then she can bring it over the border and then ship it to us. So the shipping to get it to Blaine is not going to cost us very much. It's just the shipping from Vancouver to here that would cost a little bit more. But it would definitely be a worthwhile event to do because no one around here has chocolate that good. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Spike says Lynn's chocolate. How about Americhaca? Americhaca. Wasn't that the little like ape creature on Land of the Lost? No, that was what he said when he saw the lizard people. Americhaca, Americhaca. Okay, WFO says I should be there then. I'm calling on the leaderboard with 54K. Let's go look. It does reset to quicks.
I think the ball was stuck in the Hot Wheels stand.
Oh, I see. It's right up. It's sitting right up here. Come down, please. Here it comes. It's at 54-140 for the high score. But it does also, unfortunately, with that board, it resets. When it resets the scores, it resets to just the high scores. It doesn't have your name anymore. It just resets it quick. So all it keeps track of is the ultimate high score number, not who did it. Chaka, chaka. Luke says, 7, I've watched what's now become Project Blackout today. Yeah, oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was pretty, that I did not expect, I have to be careful with what I say. I did not expect that much to happen that day. I was just gonna do, I shouldn't even talk about this. I was just gonna do like a little section. When I first started painting, I was gonna do like that little section there where the tile floor is. I wasn't gonna go to the other part of the room. And then I was, what was it? I couldn't do something I wanted to do. So I just decided to keep doing that. And I went and I bought 3 more gallons of paint and sprayed that too. It's gonna take probably 8 more gallons maybe. But yeah, yeah. 54-140, yeah, that's what's up there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to call the chocolate Americanos. Coca-Cono was one of the things I thought, like Coco Americano, Coca-Cono, or Coffee lot. No, I forget. There was something. It was like chocolate or coffee, but it didn't work out very well. But yeah, probably something like a chocolate caramel or something. Yeah, and so then we'll have depending on how many different chocolates we get, but I'd like to have like 4 different chocolates on tap. So we have like one really nice high-end one, like the dilettante one, which would cost you extra because it's going to be more expensive to get it in. And that high-end one will change. So like maybe I'll find something really interesting from somewhere else and I'll bring in 5 or 6 gallons of this crap, and we'll go through that for a while. And then have like the lower end stuff like Hershey's or the Lynch stuff. I think that's what it's called, Lynch. It doesn't cost very much. It doesn't cost hardly anything at all. And maybe the Ghirardelli would be sort of middle of the range type thing, because that's about twice. Ghirardelli's about twice. My cost is about twice that of Hershey's. So you would basically, you could have the low end one doesn't cost you any more. The mid range one costs you an extra 40 cents, and then the higher end one costs you maybe 80 cents more. Blackface Econo in honor of Justin Trudeau. Yeah, how many people have gotten in trouble for their blackface stuff over the years? There's probably more things that you could probably jump all over Justin Trudeau over his stupid costume pick. At least he wasn't the royalty and he dressed up like a Nazi or something, right? Who was it? It was one of Charles's kids went to the thing dressed as a Nazi or something. There's one thing, I know a lot of people don't like Justin Trudeau, and I can't necessarily say he's my favorite prime minister. He's definitely way better than Stephen Harper was, but there was one thing that he did that I thought was just fantastic. And there's a lot of like old school games that they play in Parliament. Not Parliament like cool P-Funk Parliament, but like boring government Parliament. Now, if Canadian Parliament was like P-Funk, and everybody dressed up like George Clinton and P-Funkadelic, and yeah, that'd be a whole different ballgame. I'd want to join government. But unfortunately, our Parliament is not P-Funk Parliament. But I digress. Anyway, so there's a bunch of games that they play on the floor, and they've been doing it for years, and it's just part of the game of like making it so that people can't speak by playing some stupid game, and they're stupid. So there was they were taking time to each party was getting their turn to speak, and it was. Trudeau had just recently been, like, it's only, I don't know, maybe his 10th time in Parliament at the time. A Conservative member had gotten up to speak, or was going up to speak. I don't remember which way it was. And the NDP were basically blocking his path, so he couldn't get to the podium, or he couldn't sit down, and they couldn't start until they sat, whatever the case was. And they were just blocking his way. And it's just like this thing, like, if you're for the NDP, you're like, funny. And if you're for the Conservatives, you're like, damn the NDP. And if you're the Liberals, you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So they were blocking his path. He couldn't get by. You can't touch people in Parliament for obvious reasons. Trudeau got off of his little perch, came down, and escorted him through the hubbub, just to move things along. Like, he was just tired. He just wanted to get the shit on the, like, let's get the ball going here, guys. And that move was like, all parties were like, what the fuck is he doing? I thought that was cool. I thought it was just like, quit with the stupid fucking games, get on with it. And these guys, like, I'm for the NDP. Like, I don't have a political party that I particularly joined in Canada, but usually the NDP is where I lean, and that's usually where I end up voting. But I'm not actually a proper member of any of the parties. I go for the candidates that I think are, I'm sort of an independent. So I voted for, I think, pretty much every party, every major party, except for the Bloc Québécois, because I've never lived anywhere where they are. I did joke that the Bloc Québécois was, I'm a member of the Bloc. I would say that when I lived in Vancouver, because there is no Bloc Québécois in Vancouver at all. So I'm like, yeah, that's the party I want to be part of. Yeah. So just call it CHCO, Chico. Trudeau is just as imaginary as any Canadian. Not my monkey, not my circus. I'm a real boy. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a real boy. I'm not imaginary. I mean, Papa's name was Geppetto, but... I kind of like Canadian politics over... I mean, American politics are one thing. American politics have always been sort of the world's, like, theater, I think, just because America plays a major role. Not to get too political on the podcast about nothing, but what happens in America, in the United States, resonates around the world, for good or for bad. And usually U.S. politics they take up so much bandwidth for so long, especially the last 20 years. Campaigns go on for way longer than they should. And they're campaigning 2 years out. They start campaigning and talking about things 2 years out. So it occupies a lot of bandwidth. There's a lot of interesting things, especially the last few times, just because the candidates are just so over the top. Like a few years back, Jill Stein, she was like one of little Putin's little pocket pals. She's running for the Green Party as like a third-party candidate to disrupt the system. It was obvious what was going on, but nobody clued in on it, right? There's so much of that going on. And Canadian politics are a little bit different, where our elections are only 30 days. That's what Sophia's doing right now. She's working on the election in BC. So she's gone for a little over 30 days, and that's it. Done. But Parliament is different than Congress, where Congress, there's this, except for the last, when the Tea Party got into Congress, things got a little kind of wacky, and now with the new MAGA people, where they're just in there to disrupt things, like Boebert and stuff, they're just these dum-dums that are just trying to cause trouble. But usually U.S. Congress is very, there's a glossy demeanor to it, where they insult people kind of in a roundabout, underhanded way. And they tell people that they're idiots in this roundabout, underhanded way, where it's very prim and proper, and it's excuse me, but I would like to address so and so. And then they come up with something that is, they don't come right out and yell at the person. When Canadian politics, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're waving their arms around. They don't address people directly, but they're cursing and yelling, and all the other MPs are ooh, and it's fun. It's a different ball game. Randy, did I miss anything pinball related? We're talking about politics, and I'm going to stop talking about politics. I have customers. Hi, how are you? Not bad. Do what? No, just pinball. Pinball and arcade machines. And candy.
How much is this?
What are they?
Does it go to one light?
$6.99, but
That's like profit.
plug them into USB and they do that. And they're UV, they're sound reactive.
Oh, wow.
You remember those? There's an old school candy. They used to come on a big roll.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we would go into the candy store. It was this big roll, and you just went 1 foot, 2 foot cut, and that was,
Wow.
and everybody's just unspooling it, get your fingers all over it,
Wow.
yeah.
That's neat.
Back in the day, when germs weren't a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody died.
Oh no, we died.
I did buy candy in the store first. So $3.50 for one mark. Thanks a lot, Mark.
that everything for you?
Yeah.
All right. $2.30 on a 5.
What time do you guys close?
11
11.
on Fridays and Saturdays, 11 o'clock.
You usually get pretty busy here?
Yeah, on some days.
Wow. Well, that's good for the kids. Is it expensive to play? Quarters? Is it quarter games?
No, so it's pay to enter. All the machines are set to free play.
Oh,
So you pay by the hour. So it's $14.95 for an hour, 5 cents more for 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
$15 for 2 hours. You just play as much as you want.
Right here. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Instead of feeding more. So $14 to play for an hour. Free on any game. On
Yeah.
any game. That's not bad. It's pretty good for kids. It's 50 cents more for another 2 hours. Yeah, want to go from tomorrow? Oh, it's the fucking pickles. Warhead.
Yeah, Warhead pickle.
Are they sour?
Yeah. Yeah, so they plug into USB like this in the back.
Oh, okay.
This is just plugged into a transformer.
If we got music going on, it will go light.
Yeah, it blinks to the sound. That is $3.50.
No, I don't want that.
All right.
No, I don't want that. Oh, here, I'll get this.
All right, $5.75 with tax.
Oh my god. How much is Pac-Man?
What?
How much is Pac-Man?
Oh, it's part of the thing. You have to pay for by the hour to play it.
Oh,
They
you
don't-
can't play unless you're by the hour?
That's how this works. The whole thing works. Pay by the hour.
$5.75? No, you want now.
$5.75. So
Here, I got it.
here, I'll do. Keep this,
Here.
and I'll sport you your nickel, and you're good.
No, here. Thank you.
You're good. Thanks. Okay. Reset says, have a good weekend. I guess Reset is leaving. Spike says, I want to talk about religion now and why you should all join my cult, and we have free chocolate and Wi-Fi. Well, and we worship Salma Hayek. Parts of her anyway. I'm liking the sound of this cult. Randy says, let me guess, it's the cult of the pin. Okay. Sounds like my cult only costs $14.95 per hour, and for a nickel more, you can get baptized in Mexican Coke. That I do that here, but it costs. Actually, we don't get Mexican Coke. We used to have Mexican Coke. We don't get it anymore because it's stupid expensive now. I used to be able to get it where I could sell it for a couple bucks a bottle and make money off of it. Now it's like a 4-pack costs almost $9, I think, for 4. Like I just refuse to. I mean, I could sell them for $2.75 and make a little bit off of it, but I'd really have to bump the price up to like $4 to make any money off of it. It's not even worth it. So we used to have it. I don't miss not having it because we have so many different things. I just got a new thing from look. Got these. This is Mirinda. This is a Spanish drink like Fanta. But look. Saudi Arabia. So it's a Spanish drink from Saudi Arabia. What's not to love? Not worth the price of refrigeration. That's the thing is like I will if corporations and around here it's more the corporations gouging than the suppliers. And I have limited sources locally to buy particular things. So if the supplier gouges the price on a particular item, I just don't carry it. I have options, right? Like I have tons of different things. And I bring in small batches of stuff, so I don't have to buy a whole warehouse of crap. I sit on it. I bring in, 12 of a particular product, sell. Sometimes it sits for a little while, sometimes it sells out right away. And see you later. I had gotten a full case of Mexican Coke about a little over a year ago, and I think I paid like $30 for it for 24 of them. Worth doing. Yeah, not anymore. All developing countries love Fanta, and that's not Fanta. That's a fake Fanta. Mirinda from Spain, and it's all over the place. It's I think Brazil is where you can normally find it from. It's pretty popular there. I've seen the Brazilian one. I've never seen the Saudi Arabia. I didn't know it was from Saudi Arabia. I've never seen that before, but I brought it in because it's fun. Is Canada Dry free there? Seems like it should be. Unfortunately, it costs the same as everything else. I think it's more popular than Schweppes. No. I have a few Canada Dries that I've had in here. They have flavored ones.
Question for you.
Yes.
If I accidentally hit too many players, can it be reset?
Yeah. This game is pretty cool. Hold the start button in.
Okay.
Just hold it in and watch. Removing player 3. If you hold it in, removing player 2.
Perfect. Thank
There you go. And if you hold it in again, it'll stop the game.
Okay.
I forget what I was saying. The crush ones that we get. Here we can get grape crush, orange crush, sometimes it's pineapple Fanta that we get. Grape and orange crush, easy to get. Crush, cream soda. That's the other one I have here. But there's lime crush and there's birch beer crush. I think I've talked about this before. And you can get that in Newfoundland. So you gotta take from here it's like I don't know, 6-hour boat ride. Let's look that up because I forget how long. I haven't done it. I want to, but I haven't done it yet. PI to Newfoundland Ferry. Go to the Bowser. Alright. I don't know. Book today. Let's see if this is where I would need to go. Alright, so we're going to... No, this is not correct. No, this is not what we want. Maybe it's part of Bay Ferries? This just takes you off of our island. Goes from the island to Nova Scotia and St. John's. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one? This one. Is it this one? Maybe it's not. Alright, I'm gonna move to this while I figure out what the hell I'm doing. Destinations. Newfoundland and Labrador. This is also not what I'm looking for. Oh, what was it? Marine Atlantic ferries. Sailing information. Routes. I still don't think this is right. I'm so confused. Probably not the first time. Oh, you know what? Maybe. Because I don't think that they travel year round. So maybe that's why I'm having a hard time finding it. This is only showing. This isn't showing from PEI. It's only showing from Sydney, Nova Scotia to. This is not right. This is still not right. No, all right. I give up. It seemed to me that there was a ferry that you could take from PEI, and maybe if someone is on PEI watching this and they know better than I do, but you could take a ferry from PEI to Newfoundland. But I'm not seeing that, and it seems like that they only do it in the summer because that's the people that I know that bring me where this all started, the Crush Birch Beer and the Line. He's originally from there. They go over there once a year in the summer to visit family, and they go over for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or something at a time, and they take the ferry over, and it's quite a large. It's quite an adventure. It's something I've always wanted to do because it's quite a long boat ride. It's like $200 or $300 for the crossing, and it takes. I think it's longer than 8 hours. Like it's a long trek. But yeah, I would like to do that one day. I'd also like to hear traditional Newfie accents because I hear them a little bit around here, but to like be in Newfoundland with a bunch of Newfies all talking at you, I think my head would explode. It'd be fun. Thick Newfoundland accents are They sound like Irish through a blender. Yeah. And I'd be interested to see, because it's such a remote area. Like you can't drive anywhere. Like you're stuck there. You can only. I mean, you probably could drive all the way around, but I think it'd be quite treacherous. Like there's not a good road to do that. I don't think. That I'm gonna love. Drive to Newfoundland. Cannot drive directly to Newfoundland from mainland Canada. This is from a website called driveinstead.com.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for
Awesome.
coming
You
in.
have a great little thing going here. I bet you're packed in the summer with all the tourists.
If it rains in the summer, forget it. You can't get in. We 2 summers ago, we had a lot of days, a lot of rainy days, and we made so much money, but we were turning people away at the door and taking reservations and everything. It was fantastic. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. This year, we had a lot of people come in, but we didn't have very many rainy days, so we didn't. We only had to stop people at the door once or twice this year, but yeah, that's fun.
That's neat, all those.
Yeah.
And I hope you get your speakeasy going.
It's a really simple problem in the big scheme of things. I have to repin a connector because
Yeah.
it melted, and then I've got a board for it.
Okay.
But it's finding the time to do it
Sure.
because we're working on this other project, and
Well, when it's up and running and running well,
It's a fun
we
one.
enjoy it.
we've had it in here since day one when we opened,
Okay.
and it's actually a game that I teach kids who have never played how to play.
Yeah.
I teach them on that because it's got the hidden bally start button.
Yeah.
Because you get them on some of these other games and they can't find it, right?
Yeah.
They're like, where the hell's the button? They push the coin return thing and then they walk away from it. So I like to teach them on that style of game
Yeah.
to show them how to start it. And then for kids, it's fun because it spins that wheel when the ball drains.
Absolutely.
And we've had groups of kids gathered around that machine, loving it, like 8, 9-year-olds playing it, loving it. The wheel spins, and several groups have done this where they start chanting, add a ball, add a ball, add a ball. And when it does, like,
Big
I don't
bang.
know how many times I've seen this, where it lands on subtractable and the kid deflates onto the floor. Like it just collapses. It's hilarious. But I've seen that at least twice where a kid has done that.
And where are you guys moving to? Close by? Just a different location?
Sorry, I have to mute. All right, sorry about that. All right. We're 5 minutes from 10, and I'm gonna. The place is empty. Like it cleared out at like an hour before close. So I might close a little early. Oh, you heard Rick James in the background? Yep. Almost movie time here. Tonight's offering, this is Spike saying this, Critters, They Bite. Thanks for the stream again, 7. See you guys next time. And Luke says, bye Spike, have fun. Luke says, we lost sound, secret hush hush talk. Yes, that's what that was. And I think everybody in chat right now, if Chris is still, Chris has actually been there. I know that you have a Patreon, so you've seen the stuff, but I still have to kind of be careful. And I will explain why I'm being careful later. Actually, I will do that on a video for Patreon. The next one that I made, there's. What the hell does that sound? There's a Patreon video set to go live tomorrow. That is called Story Time. And it's me talking about something that happened, which is kind of humorous. The next video that I make, I will explain why it's Project Hush Hush, why we're not talking about it publicly a lot yet. Just so that at least you'll understand. Yeah, but there's a reason for it. And yeah, but I'm looking forward to being done with that project, right? Because it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good thing. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna finish this. I don't know. You have these where you are. I think these are a Canadian thing. It's called Palomine. I was craving calories, so I thought I would dip into this. It says fudge and peanuts. Canadians' premier chocolatier since 1873. They're from New Brunswick. They come in 2 parts like this, if you've never had one. And people who have never had one of these, I explained to them that you get a box of bonbons for like Valentine's Day, the big heart-shaped box, with all the individual little pieces of candy. And you pick one up, they're all covered in chocolate. You don't know what they are. You pick one up, you take a bite out of it, and sometimes you put it back in the box with a bite taken out of it. This is the one that you finish eating. And that's what it tastes like to me. That's the good one. And it's just got they say that it's fudge and peanuts, but I don't taste a lot of peanut flavor. But the inside it's like a soft nougaty sort of thing. They're good. You need the calories to stay up for another hour. But if no one comes in here in a half an hour, I close. Because nobody's coming in at 10:30 to play for a half an hour. Anyway, it is now 10 o'clock, and that's 2 hours. So I am going to call it quits. I'm going to finish my pallet. I'm going to end the stream, finish my pallet line, drink some chocolate, clean the machines, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, so I guess this is where I say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I think Luke, you're still in, but anyway, bye.